So now we're going to have a monomial times a polynomial. So we're going to have a term in front, and then, that'll be a monomial. And then you're going to have other terms, inside. And there could be 2 terms or 3 terms or 4 terms in the polynomial. But out in front, there's just a monomial. Okay? So it's really a distributing thing. So you're going to take the monomial times this term, and the monomial times that term, and the monomial times that term. So like in this case, it'd be AB plus AC plus AD. And you could have, like I said in the parentheses, you could have 3 terms, like in this case, or you could have 4 terms, or you could have 2 terms, but more than 1 term, probably, if, it's not going to be the monomial times a monomial situation. Okay, so enough said on that. All right, so here we go with our first example. So we're really just distributing. So I'm going to take the negative 3y times the 5y squared. Now when you're first starting these, it's probably helpful to write it out. So negative 3y times the 5y squared plus, well, yeah, it's going to be minus. I like to take care of the sign right when I do it. So because this is a negative and this is a positive, it's going to be minus 3y times 8y. And you could choose to write that a little bit differently. You could write plus a negative 3y times 8y, and then, put the subtraction sign on the next step. But you're going to have to get used to doing this. So that's that one times that one. And now we're going to have a negative times a negative, so plus, and then it's going to be 3y times 7. So I'm going to choose to write it that way. You'll get used to these. If it helps you to write it a different way, I'll show you the other way. You could write negative 3y times 5y squared plus a negative 3y times 8y plus, or minus, a negative 3y times 7. And you can do it that way, but you're going to get the same answer. So at some point, you're going to get used to getting those signs right between the terms, which are really important. So, okay, now what you have is you have 3 monomial times a monomial situations. So this first one here, you're going to get negative 15, and then it's going to be y cubed, because you've got y to the first there. The next one, this one here, is going to be minus, and now I'm going to have 24, because 3 times 8, and then y squared, because y times y. And then the last one is going to be plus 21y. And you would get the same thing on the other problem. You'd have a negative 15y cubed plus a negative 24y squared minus a minus 21y. But see, at some point you're going to have to fix that so that it says negative 15y cubed minus 24y squared plus 21y. And they're going to want it like this for the final answer, which is what we have in the with the green and the blue and the orange terms there. Okay? All right. So it takes some practice. Okay, so this one's a little bit bigger because it's got x and y in it. But we're going to have the 4x squared y squared times that first term, which is 3x squared. Then it's going to be minus, because it'll be positive times a negative there, so it's going to be minus 4x squared y squared times 5xy. And then we're going to have plus. So that's what I'm talking about with the signs. Figure out what the sign is. So it's a positive times a positive, so it's going to be plus. And then I'm going to have 4x squared y squared times 3y squared. Okay. And now we just figure out each of them separately. So I look at this first one. The 4 times the 3 is 12. And then the x is going to be to the 4th power, because you've got 2 of them here and 2 of them there. And then you're just going to have the y squared. It doesn't match up with more y's from that second monomial, but you still have to put those in there. Okay, minus, and now I'm on this part. 4 times 5 is 20. And then I'm going to have x to the third power, because you've got x here, and then you've got another x over here. So that's why it's x cubed. Okay? And then it's also going to be y cubed, isn't it? For the same reason there. Okay. Plus, and now we're going to do this one over here. So 4 times 3 is 12. I've got the x squared, and then it's going to be y to the fourth. And so that's what it would be multiplied out. It'd be a trinomial, because there are 3 terms now. 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Okay? All right.